Hello everybody, it's Calxiyn here. If you guys enjoyed this video, remember to join our Discord server, become patrons over on Patreon, and comment down below with your thoughts on our analysis today. So we have a lot to talk about. Holy shit, things got dark a little fast, didn't they? You know, like...
It kind of reminds me of...
Oh, boy!
Spoiler alert, in Full Metal Alchemist, there's a scene where this guy... Alchemist? There's a bit where a guy kills his daughter and his dog to make, like, this homunculus... like half human dog thing that talks.
Okay.
And it's really fucked up, and it kind of comes out
and
of like
kills
left
his
field.
daughter.
Yeah.
Why is the dog worth more than the daughter?
Well, because I mean, listen, right? Like, I like some dogs more than I like some people.
Okay.
But the dog was a good dog, and the girl was a good girl, and you like them, and then they just fucking die.
Oh boy.
So, and it kind of comes out of nowhere, and it's really freaky.
Nomad out of nowhere.
Yeah, Nomad. Then Nomad, you're really proud for that one, aren't you? You guys.
Anyways,
So it kind of reminds me of that, because you meet the little music boy, and the music boy is sweet, and he fucking dies.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess before we get to that, I guess we have to talk about, you know, how the episode starts.
Yeah, so the episode starts with the Nomad doing his thing, walking around, and this guy with a cart with a skeleton, I guess, and a coffin.
With the skeleton, his body was all together, so it's like either you wired that stuff shut, or is it like super
he kind of wired that stuff shut.
It seems weird to do, but I mean, to each their own.
Exactly.
So he's like a mortician.
He's like a science mortician.
And so Toph and what's his face are about to get Nomad out of nowhere, but he's like, but this mortician guy's like, nah, B, just like jump in my coffin. So he jumps in the coffin. He's like, I saw him. He ran in the other direction.
Exactly.
Guy runs in the other direction. Nomad pops his head out. It's just like, it's okay, Nomad. Like, I'll take you to the edge of like this out of this dangerous part of the desert.
Mm-hmm.
And at first you're just like, oh, he's probably still okay. Like, I don't know if he's evil. Then he was it when he closes it or when he
closes it, we were both like, yeah, he's evil. Like, we both said it at the same time. He said something sketchy.
And then he was like, we're evil. He's evil. Evil alarm. And I'm like, come on,
yeah,
people.
evil alarm. Like, it was pretty evident, let's say. Let's say it was pretty evident.
I feel bad for the Nomad. He was probably just chilling in his little village for so long, and then he gets kicked out.
And he has this thing to eat. Yeah, so that's just kind of what, like, Hunter and I, like, in unison, we had the exact same thought train of, oh, okay.
He wakes up in a graveyard.
It was just his face, and, like, you knew, you could see it.
His tone of voice, his smile, I'm like, stranger danger.
Yeah, stranger danger. Don't go into carts with randos. How about we start right there? Can we do that?
Yeah, what if you just
can we do that, guys?
A coffin to a coffin boy. Anyways.
Oh, boy.
So he wakes up in a graveyard. He's like, oh shit. He gets hammered over the head with
hammered over the head, but with a shovel.
Shovel, yes. I mean, I guess you can't be shoveled over a head. That would imply you were scooping out brain matter.
All right, thanks, Hunter.
You're welcome, Cal.
All right.
I'm really good at being pedantic sometimes. I don't know if you know this.
Ooh, all right. Good job, everyone. So yeah, so there's that.
He wakes up in the he wakes up in the basement and he has two puns. One was handcuffs. Because he's cuffed, and it was the handcuffs were made
of hands, of real hands.
And then there was a skeleton key, a key made out of human bone.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, and then he had another one about like his little music maker. But, yeah.
I don't remember that one anymore.
That was like the third, like, comedy comes in threes, Cal. Then that happened. He's just like, I am a scientist, even though I just bury bodies all day, and I will tell you. I mean, some scientists bury bodies all day. Like, you can't judge him. You can't judge him. I mean, we've all been there.
We've all been there. We've all done that.
We've all had that lab in, like, high school where it's just like, you know, you
dissect a frog.
You fuck around with, like, nitric acid, and you bury someone.
Exactly.
We've all had a homework teacher.
Yeah, and so he gets sketchy real fast, basically. Like, he wants to know all the powers. It seems like... He has
this ancient book.
So, we talked about before, like, racism. And it seems like the Yodala have been subjugated in some way, because he says something along the lines of, the Yodala, like, keep, like, talking about the old times or something. And that in itself isn't, like, the times before the dawn. And, of course, the dawn is, like, like, for lack of a better term, like a white subjugator. You understand what I mean? He's like, yeah, he seems a little colonisty, for lack of a better word, right? And, That's interesting. So, yeah, so it seems like they are trying to deal with, some, like, racism-related subjects, and they seem at this current moment in time
or just
to be doing it a little better.
At least implying that these people are different in a lot of ways, and one of the ways in which they are different is that they sort of still maybe believe in magic.
Yeah.
And he can't...
Or they, like, the old days were better for them somehow, which seems, like, that's an interesting implication for the show. But anyway.
Maybe that's partially why Toph is such a hard ass, because of, like...
Because she's just trying to, like, do better, like, maybe for her people, and it's not going that great.
It's not going great.
It's not going great. So... there's that, but yeah, you kind of see the Nomad, like, and how he works with his objects. Like, this was basically, like, explaining magical powers, the episode. Like, that's sort of, what we're doing right here.
So he can turn, like, inanimate objects to life, but he can't bring people back from the dead.
Or he can't, make dead things that used to be dead alive, even if it's just, skin and bone, so to speak.
Yes. So he had, like, this skeleton, which he called Clarence, which, I don't know, his boyfriend? I don't know.
Oh, I fixed it.
Ooh, water.
Oh dear, but there's only
I mean, the ancient water.
The ancient water only has a couple seconds. Fuck, man.
Most water's pretty ancient, I'd argue.
Hello? Oh. Nice!
Hello.
Good job, kiddos!
Renewal! It looks like Vileplume from Pokemon. Anyways.
Does it?
Oh,
alright. Yeah, sorry, we're a little off topic right here, because of the game. But anyway, if you wanted to continue, Hunter? With what you were saying?
Sorry.
Anytime now.
It's really unprofessional to yawn in a video.
Whoops.
Oh, God,
whoopsies.
Being exploded.
Yeah.
So basically we learn more about him, and he says, like, but no, like, you have, like, some magic in you, and he's about to walk up to him and cut open his chest, and then I'm like, oh, we're gonna learn what's that glowing thing in his chest.
Well, yeah, but he'd also be dead!
You mean he'd be dead? But, like, are we gonna learn what it is? Like, it's bringing more focus to whatever's glowing in his chest, so I think that'll be... importance as to of importance as the show goes on.
Yeah, I understand.
But before that happens, there's a knock on the door. He's like, "Fuck!" He's like, "Stay there." And in the meantime, before that, he creates a stopwatch. He makes the stopwatch boy.
And yeah, it dies, and that is what
he kills the stopwatch boy.
Not that is what the problem is. That's a weird way to phrase it, but like that is like what seems to like the Nomad is actually very upset at the fact that his creations get broken, and I think that's. Like, super important for, like, the show, like, I guess. And also, like, obviously it's also sweet, but it's also important for the context of the show, I think. Just because, like, you kind of see where we're sort of going here. It's that this is where the Nomad, I don't want to say breaks loose, because that makes him sound a little like a psycho. But it sounds like it really hurt him. You know, like, he has the emotional capacity to really care about these objects. In a way, right? In a way that like we haven't really gotten yet. He personally cares a lot. Beings. Yeah, exactly. He should be treated nicely. Exactly. Yeah, you're right.
So he has a great deal of empathy.
Use right.
Use is right.
Use is right. So obviously there's that, right? And I think that is gonna be and is currently like a really important part of the show. Just that. Like, we sort of see, like, this is when the Nomad snaps, right? Like, everybody thinks he's bad, but really, it's sort of like everybody else has done things to him which has made him worse? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, everyone else is sort of at fault here. Maybe that's why people are afraid of him? Yeah, because maybe in the past, they were fucking with him, and then it had, a negative effect. So to speak, right? Like that's, a negative effect on him, which made him snap and go after people, and then people only remembered who hurt.
Later on, you see he can be a motherfucker.
Yeah.
In, like, specific situations.
Like, in a way, it could be that, like, people, like, you only remember, like...
The worst of people?
Yeah, or, like, the winners get to write history, right? And so they had a power, like, sort of over him, and that made him... I don't want to say lose, but, like, then he gets fabled in history as, like, some evil person when really it was other people's fault for, like, hurting him, right? I think that's pretty powerful. Like, there's, we talked about sort of that there's going to be some racial undertones here. It seems like this is all connecting together. Like, you have the plight of sort of, like, Toph and her people, and that's connected to the Nomad and sort of what's been happening with him, right? And so I think that that's
there's
pretty,
definitely something there.
Hello?
So, but
that's definitely
there's
interesting.
A knock on the door, and he walks up, and there's this guy who has this body.
Who has this body, yeah.
The body of a friend who died hunting the Nomad.
Rip in pieces.
Then you hear how, what you said earlier, how, like, stories of the Nomad being evil can proliferate, because he talks about, like, I saw a Nomad, I heard stories, he like,
punched a guy to death, yeah, without even, like,
arm.
knowing,
and then
like...
you learn, like, oh, he was a bad person threatening to hurt people.
Yeah, exactly, like, you don't get the, oh, but he also threatened to kill a little boy, like, nobody seems to, remember that part, which
really,
I would argue is a little important, but, that's fine. You know? Don't remember the reason why somebody did something. Remember that they did it. For some reason, that's not, like, their reasoning isn't as important. And I think that's sort of, like, something that is going to be sort of driven home here. But yeah, there's just so many things going on in this episode, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many...
For such a short episode, like, it was only 10 minutes.
I know, we have so much to talk about, right? And now we also know that he can do other stuff with his hands, so he's able to snap.
Yeah, so basically, like,
snapping does things.
His little musical boy, he's like, save me, music boy, and music boy, and like he jingles when he moves, and I love him so much.
I know that like the characters are so compelling for some reason, even though they don't talk at all.
His boys like, that he makes.
Isn't that just magic. Wild though? Like that we can fall in love with a music box,
and
like,
also a character that never speaks.
Yeah, well, that was a given. So you know,
I love it when humans shut the fuck up.
Exactly. So I think that's important. So I don't know if I'm lame or whatever, but I just think that's...
Yeah. No, it's really, it shows their ability to make really enriching characters. Wonderful characters.
Yeah, I feel you. Good bullies. Yeah, I feel you. I agree.
And so, dude with a gun, or dude that came in with a body, hears the Jingle Boy going after the keys. And then he's just like, what is that? And he comes in, like, and he tries to or he doesn't shoot them because dude comes up behind him, whacks him over the head. Jingle Boy makes it to the basement where Nomad's being held, frees the Nomad by jumping, like, 100 times his own height.
Yeah,
like,
that was pretty interesting.
We should mention his guy, like, he has leaps. Like, he can jump.
The bitch can jump.
Hops. So he gets up. Yeah. Nomad gets free. Guy comes in. He's like, what are you doing? Like, I'm trying to make you better. Kills Jingly Boy. Which, man, that hurt. Like, I mean, I was sad when Pyrrha died, right?
But somehow this was
was significantly worse.
I see. I know what you mean.
I didn't fall so hard so fast for them. So that happens. It's not good. And he just snaps. He gets angry. So he claps really loudly. And then everything in the house, his little shack that he's being kept in, comes alive. And it's like,
yes, that's what I said, and I thought that was pretty funny, to be honest.
We're really good at being synchronized with the PR guests.
Because, like, that's all I could think about is that in the end scene of, oh dear. In the end scene of Beauty, yeah, exactly. In the end scene of Beauty and the Beast, there's a thing. There's like
all the villagers
storm the castle, and they come in.
All the wardrobes and shit have to fight.
Shit gets
My favorite part is that I don't think you've seen or it's a meme, but basically there's a cabinet hiding behind like a door with a baseball bat. And
I've seen that.
And he's just waiting to fuck someone up, and I'm like, that's hilarious. But yeah, so they're about to just kill this guy. He's disarmed. He shoots off his gun, but then Nomad's like, no. Don't do it. So he ties him up. He doesn't kill him, which you see, like, even when people do terrible things, he's not exactly willing to kill in cold blood.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's interesting, too, to be honest.
He's leaving, he takes the magic book, and and also we see that
buries it, so it sounds like we're coming back to this
would mean, like, this is going to be very important, like, so this is, like, this planting, like, literally and figuratively planting this for later.
Yeah,
but
I agree with that.
See what I did there? I'm really proud of that one. I don't know if you know this, Cal.
Well, I'm sorry.
We all try our best.
we all try our best. Sorry.
Like,
yeah, I didn't laugh at your joke. It's okay.
Okay. Well, anyways. So he buries the boy and the book, and then he just runs off, and then the guy with the shotgun who got knocked out, he wakes up and his boys are there, and it's like, we're going to find the Nomad. I caught him. And then he's running, and then he looks up and he sees the buzzards. So you get the understanding that he's in dire straits. as the episode comes to a close.
Yeah. I agree with that. I feel you.
So I'm not going to lie, last episode I didn't like that much, but this episode...
Well, that was the pilot, right?
Yeah.
And the pilot's never as good as the rest of the show.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
It wasn't the pilot, but I guess like the show that
it was
pitch.
supposed
so
to, yeah, it was supposed to be the
right?
pitch or functionally the pilot, whatever you want to call it, right? And so... I just think that that's interesting, that we kind of had, that they had this idea and, like, it evolved from there. So if that's the worst episode of the series, like, we kind of see that was the start, right?
Because
We're
this
pretty good.
episode was great. I really dug it. I really like how they're showing that, like, you know, a lot of people are out for Nomad, that Nomad has some, like, it hints to, like him picking out his chest, like there's something there, there's something secret
inside
and,
of him.
magical about him.
Yeah.
It shows that maybe this book, maybe like that book in this ancient culture will come back. We may learn more about Toph through it. You say there's more opening about the idea of like him being a race of people, and it's further beyond the idea
Yodala,
of race
right?
and Odalas.
And
maybe
so
he's an
it's
Odala?
interesting. It sounds like we're getting into some like interesting like lore. Yeah, exactly.
But it's not lore that throws it in your face. It's subtly in the background, and I really like that.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it too. Like I feel like we criticize Ruby a lot, but I think that from this,
we love Ruby.
You can tell that they've learned from Ruby, and I think that's the best thing to see ever. Like, not to be like dramatic, but like that's the best to see. Like even newer Ruby compared to old Ruby, and then like the new Rooster Teeth shows compared to Ruby, and like, you know what I mean?
I hear people talking about like Ruby isn't good as it used to be, I'm like, motherfucker, are we watching the same show?
Are you sure?
Are we watching the same show?
You know,
because like everything's gotten better. But yeah, no, I really like this show. I really love where it's going. I'm really excited for the lore of it. I love how they're delivering the lore. I love the sweet boys. I love how they're able to make really compelling characters through the boys, or even through like these creepy dude that shows up.
The creepy dude that shows up.
Yes.
Good job, Hunter.
Mortician? Grave digger?
Grave boy.
Grave boy. Grave boy.
Grave boy. Yeah, the mortician, the digger. We didn't get his name.
You know, yeah, don't make fun of me.
Yeah, we didn't get his name, so I'll forgive you this one time. This one time.
If you
I'll forgive you.
Hunter.
Yeah. So yeah, I agree.
You will be eating from a dog bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Which I already do, so it's cool.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's his king.
It's fine. It's his king.
I shouldn't have said that.
Anyway, are you wrong though?
Alright. Anyway, I think it's time to end the video. I think that we've done enough here. So, if you guys enjoyed this video, remember to join our Discord server, become patrons over on Patreon, I really like this show. I think it is getting better.
I think the entire show. Because, like, he snapped there.
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
So what if this
I think that,
just
like, that's gonna be sort of the final moment thing, is that he's about to snap, but then he sees,
Toph. Or not
yeah,
Toph,
or Scout. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got me mixed up.
Maybe he's about to kill Toph, and then he's like, let's go. That would be good.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of
that.
this.
Like,
yeah,
and I think this episode shows us this isn't just another kid show. You know what I mean? Like,
yes,
people think that, for some reason, they think that, Camp is a kid show.
Oh, I mean,
and
it
I'm
looks
like
a kid show.
Are you sure?
From a distance.
Try again.
Oh, it is
like,
so bad.
make an attempt.
So I love, because when I first started watching Camp, I'm like, this is going to make it. This is going to be like a show that'll be on Rooster Teeth for a while. And watching Nomad and Nowhere, I think the same thing. And like, this is going to be a show that's going to be here. Like, it's staying.
I agree. I agree with you.
I look forward to a lot more of the boys.
Me too. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I think that we are good to go now. So if you guys enjoyed this video, remember to join our Discord server, become patrons over on Patreon, and we will see you later. Bye!